Hey, welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. I'm Mike, and this is my take on all things diabetes. Today, I want to discuss what do I want to discuss? I did support on a pump. How about just general support? Who do you talk to when you need help with your diabetes? Your doctor? Do you have a diabetes nurse or diabetes educator? I call it a diabetic nurse because that's who I have. I'm able to contact her in pretty much any time. I don't like to do it on weekends, but I can contact her if there is an issue. It's important that we all get to know people and have people there who need it. I also have support from they're my power of attorneys, but they don't necessarily have to be a power of attorney. But some sort of support. I've mentioned this a few times in these videos about support groups. They're less uncommon now, but there should be some support groups out there where a group of diabetics get together and discuss new and exciting topics about what's happening with diabetes. So you need to get up and get into it. Now, it's not usually, you don't have to pay for this. They usually meet in a hospital or a church or anywhere where diabetics meet. I once did a group in a diabetic daycare settings. I call it diabetic daycare. I'm old. Okay, so some of these terms are not so with it. Yeah, I'm really hip and really old in my old age. But support groups, you can talk about anything, and it should be a safe place where you can go and discuss any sort of topic, any sort of problems you're having that you don't feel you can speak with your doctor about, you can bring up in these groups. If there is not one in your area, I speak well today, yes, you maybe should talk to a group about getting one started. Sponsor may help, but it's like AA for diabetics, and you can learn a whole bunch from these people if you sit down and have a dialogue with them. I think that's important. So you can choose topics that are relevant to you. I can remember the first group I ever went to. I was down in Houston, Texas. It's Babu, Texas. And there was a big guy, who was on an insulin pump. And this insulin pump was huge. I kept looking at it and saying, oh, that's neat. And my first thought was, yes, he doesn't have to take shots all the time. I don't know, years later, I have a much better pump, the Medtronic 780G pump. I really enjoy this pump. But if you're new to pumping, a support group may be something that you may want to look into. Now, when I first saw diabetes support groups. They were a dime a dozen. Every hospital had one. Now they're a little bit more tricky in trying to find, but you should take a look and get out and try to find ones where you can get in a group or start your own. Nothing wrong finding a few other diabetics. I'm sure daycare centers, not child daycare, I'm talking adult daycare, will help in looking you out and advertising for you. Or your diabetic center is probably a better way of saying it. But get out and see what you can learn from these. But don't feel like you're so alone. These support groups are out there to help you learn and achieve your greatness as diabetics. And with that, I'm going to call it a day. Have a great day, and we'll talk later. Bye now. My email address is Mike's Diabetes World at gmail.com. All one line. Drop me